This is part 5 of my Outlander Season 7, Episode 7 review. If you are looking to avoid spoilers for the show or the books, please do keep on scrolling. So when Rob Cameron finally leaves their house, Bree and Roger end up finding the kids and Buck in the trailer. For some reason, they haven't finished their house, so they're still all sleeping in this caravan out front. I don't know. But I loved how Jem and specifically Mandy tell their parents, hey, he's not scary anymore. He said sorry. And Mandy is combing his beard with one of her doll's combs. So they give him permission to stay in their house, but they don't trust him as far as they can throw him. So he ends up going to work with Bree at the dam. It's in this scene where Buck tells Bree about his wife and son and that his wife was pregnant at the time that he went through the stones. And in the books, he makes it very obvious that he doesn't feel worthy of returning to them and does not want to go back. But in the show, they're kind of withholding that information a little more. And they talk about how they can get him back through the stones. In the previous conversation between Roger and Bree at the house, Roger tells Bree that he will bring him back on Saturday. We don't know what day of the week this is, but presumably soon. And Bree really presses him about why he even came through in the first place. I don't think she buys that he just mistakenly fell through the stones, but I thought it was a little weird how aggressive she was being, especially since they're going to send him back. And she explains to him that he lost his gemstone in his ring that he was wearing because they now know that you need one in order to pass through, so that they will get one for Buck so he can go back to his family. And our favorite man, once again, happens to show up at the perfect time. But thankfully, Buck has a brain, and he doesn't like or trust Rob Cameron. And I loved that he just denied the handshake. He watches Rob be very touchy-feely with Bree, and Bree just tells him, no, he's just being nice. You're not from this time. You don't know how it works. But my God, are her and Roger being stupid when it comes to this man. This is not innocent. Later on at the house, we see him playing with a toy airplane of Jemmy's, and Roger decides, you know what, I'm going to tell you when you die, Buck. And that is when they discuss that even though the date of his death, as documented, says that he dies in 1778, that might not actually be the case. Roger and Bree have a moment discussing Rob Cameron's hot eye for her, and I gotta be honest, I kind of fast-forwarded through this, and I will never be able to hear that Sting song and think of it the same way again. And when we cut back in time, we see a British deserter walking through the woods, and he happens upon my favorite man, young Ian, who is criminally underused in this episode. This is pretty much the only time we see him, and that will just simply not do for me. The battle is upon us, so come back for part 6.